There are 1,000 stories in the big pantry, countless possibilities. Why, if tomorrow came and the local Megamart locked its doors, if the refrigerator ran away from home and took my freezer with it, I'd still have my pantry. A properly stocked pantry can support good eating for a very long time indeed. I've got everything in here, from rice to beans, beef jerky to canned sardines. I've got vegetables, fruit, nuts, pasta, and of course, I've got vinegar. If there's a more potent and poetic multitasker in the kitchen, I don't know what it is. I love this stuff, and it's many, many guises. How much do I love it? Well, follow me. I dug it myself. Come on down, it's safe. Mostly. Welcome to my vinegar cellar. Just smell the air. It's, oh, sorry, you can't. Well, I keep them all here. From champagne vinegar to aged sherry vinegar, red wine vinegar, cider vinegar, plain old cheap distilled white vinegar, and of course, balsamic vinegar. I've even got this one that's so old and so expensive, I actually locked it up and threw away the key so that I would never use it. Every one of these vinegars has a unique flavor and, as Steve Martin said in The Jerk, a special purpose. I mean, consider this bottle of vinegar. Where did it come from? How is it made? What can you do with it besides dye Easter eggs and toss a salad? Well, if you've ever asked yourself these questions, you've come to the right cellar, my friends. Because not only is vinegar my favorite pantry pal, it's seriously literally translated, vinegar means sour wine in French. Now, the sour comes from acetic acid, and that acid is formed when a very specific family of bacteria called acetobacters metabolizes alcohol in the presence of air. With the possible exception of college-aged males, acetobacters are just about the only critters on Earth who can actually thrive on alcohol. Now, these aren't actual pictures of acetobacters, but they're small. Who's to say? Besides producing water and acetic acid as byproducts of their binging, certain acetobacters create a strange, slimy disc referred to as a mother. This very strange, unsettling looking thing is actually almost 100% cellulose, the same stuff that makes up plant stems. It's called a mother because it is so packed with acetobacters that even tearing off just a little piece of this and putting it into another alcohol-bearing liquid like wine will turn it into vinegar. Although kits are available for home vinegar makers, most of us rely on commercially made vinegar, the best of which is created via a very old method called the Orleans method, named after Orleans, France, where the method was pioneered. To find out more, let's go on a field trip. Welcome to Modesto, California. This is the Classic Wine Vinegar Company. These barrels are full of vinegar. Around here, they do things the hard way, the old-fashioned way, the long and difficult way. And this is a family business, by the way. It's run by the Nicolau family. Hi.
Hi.
Wait a second. Where's Wally?
Over there.
Thanks. Okay. This is Wally Nicolau. He runs the place. Hey, Wally, do me a favor and give me the rundown on the Orleans method. Well, tell me about the actual process, the steps that would go into making just one batch.
It takes 4 good things. It takes time, good wine, a good mother, and good barrels.
So each one of those things brings something to the party.
The first thing you do is you add culture to the oak barrel.
The mother.
The mother.
barrel. Okay.
And then on top of that culture, you want to add fresh wine. And the fresh wine is the food for the culture. And then you want to make sure that you leave enough airspace in the barrel. This is a 60-gallon barrel, and we're only going to put about 45 gallons in it.
And I notice you've got them plugged up with what looks kind of like just a cotton ball in a little sack, so it can breathe, right?
Because over a period of time, you're going to have evaporation, and the evaporation is all part of the system, and it brings a distinct flavor that comes also from our culture and from the wine. Okay, so time is really of the essence here, and not just the time that it takes for the mother to convert the alcohol to acetic acid, but it's also about the time that it takes for the evaporation to take place. With the right amount of air and just the right amount of vinegar, wine stock. It takes about 12 to 15 months to get a full conversion. We like to see over 6% acidity because we know at 6% acidity that all the alcohol has been consumed, the majority of it.
Okay, so let me see if I've got this right. Barrel, wine comes in, good wine, quality matters. You put the wine and the mother in the barrel. You wait 15 months for them to do what they need to do. You come back, you draw out samples, you do some scientific tests because you're a chemist, right? You're a chemist. You come back and then you pump out all of the vinegar?
No, we don't pump it all out. What we do is we want to pump out only about 30 gallons and leave some of that mother at the bottom. And then what happens is we add the fresh wine, and as I said, the conversion starts all over again.
So, great. I think it's about time we met your mother. Wow.
Elton, meet Mom.
Hi, Mom. Wally, why is she down on the bottom of the bottle like that?
Well, when the mother is converting, they stay up on top, but as soon as the conversion is through, they fall to the bottom.
Oh, is she dead?
No, just dormant.
Oh, okay. So if we were to pour some of this out and put in some fresh wine, she'd perk right up again.
Just take right off and start her cycle all over.
Well, now, if you always keep some vinegar in the barrels when you empty them, why do you need mother?
Oh, it's our insurance policy.
Oh, of course, in case something were to happen. Is she the only one?
No, got about 20 of them.
Wow, 20 mothers. Gives you the shakes just thinking about it. Well, nice to meet you, ma'am.
Okay, Mom. Bye-bye.
Although it could be argued that the Orléans method produces the world's best vinegars, it takes time, and time is money, and that's why a clever industrialist came up with another way, a way that is faster and, of course, cheaper. What you do is you take yourself a big vat of wine and you inoculate it with a free-floating form of acetobacter, one that doesn't create a mother. Then you just percolate oxygen into that tank continuously until it turns into vinegar, which is usually 1, maybe 2 days. The problem is that this liquid will never, ever possess the kind of flavor and texture delivered by the Orléans method. With the possible exception of French wine, no other food in recent history has caused as much commotion and confusion as balsamic vinegar. Oh, I didn't really throw away the key, but I did hide it, just not for myself. Now, real balsamic vinegars hail from Italy, of course, the Emilia-Romagna region, which is right up here, and they are very labor-intensive. First, you have to get some white Trebbiano grapes, and you squeeze them. You take the juice and you cook it until the sugars are concentrated to right around 40%. Then you put it into barrels, which have already been infected, so to speak, with acetobacters. Now, here's the cool part. This is done in really hot rooms, and as the water evaporates out of the barrels, of course, the liquid reduces. And as it does, it's moved to progressively smaller barrels. Now, this takes a minimum of 12 years, but sometimes as many as 100 years, okay? 100. The result is, well, it doesn't really look like vinegar at all. It's a very, very deep brown, almost black syrup that manages to be sharp and sweet, and meaty and floral, all at the same time. Now, this is not the kind of vinegar that you want to use as an ingredient in a vinaigrette. You want to use this as a fine sauce. I like it on ice cream, cantaloupe, berries. Sometimes I just kind of like a little taste of it. Better than good brandy. Excuse me. Since the acetic acid molecule is highly volatile, it has no trouble making the jump from liquid to gas phase. Now, this means that vinegar produces a positively pungent aroma, which often forces the diner to abandon his or her meal before the fork even has a chance to meet the mouth. Now, one of my favorite vinegar applications is a cooked salad, and it gets around this fact by locking the vinegar into a solid phase from which it cannot escape until it melts in the mouth. Step 1, place a metal loaf pan in your freezer. Thusly, then pour in 1/2 cup of red wine vinegar. Now we're going to need this rock solid, so freeze for at least 2 hours. Overnight would be better. Start with 2 hearts of romaine. You can actually start with entire heads of romaine, but you'll want to peel off the outer leaves. Take off the ends and split them in half. Then grate yourself some cheese, Parmesan that is, about 1 cup, and use the good stuff for this, okay? Excellent. You'll also need about a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil and a bit of fresh ground pepper. Hardware-wise, you'll need some spring-loaded tongs like this and a basting brush. I like the silicone one. It's bouncy. Lube up a non-stick griddle with a little no-stick spray, and then brush just a little bit of olive oil onto the cut side of the romaine, just enough to get our cheese and things to stick. Oh, but first, fresh ground black pepper, please, just a bit, and then straight into the cheese, which has been moved to a baking dish long enough to accommodate two halves of that romaine. Just kind of push down to get good adhesion, and then also push it down